The Trek Geeks Podcast Network is proud to have FanSets as its presenting sponsor. FanSets is the place for amazing pin collectibles with over 300 officially licensed Star Trek pins, and hey, they have new releases every month. Stay tuned for a special discount code good on your next order at fansets.com just for Trek Geeks listeners. FanSets. Our pins have character.
This episode is also sponsored by Science Division, the makers of the galaxy's first interactive tribble that you can control with your very own smartphone. Find out more about this amazing collectible and sign up for their mailing list for special offers at sciencediv.com. Science Division. Trouble's never been this fun.
This is Robert O'Reilly, Chancellor Garon, on Star Trek, The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. And you are listening to the biggest little podcast this side of the Alpha Quadrant. It's the Trek Geeks Podcast with Dan Davidson and Bill Smith. Glory to you and your house.
From wherever the hell it is we are right now, because we're not in Vegas. It's the biggest little show this side of the Alpha Quadrant, the flagship of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. Greetings to you, one and all, dear listeners, and welcome to the Trek Geeks Podcast. I'm your co-host, Bill Smith, and this is episode number 267. We're excited to be here with you today. We're kind of preempting our original content, more about that in a bit, but I bring on my co-host and my traveling partner. Well, he's at least one of those this week, and the other one, he's not, and we're going to talk about that too. He's the largely detained Dan Davidson, and Dan, good to be here.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Be excited for the listeners, buddy.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm always excited to be here for the listeners. It's good to be here with you, buddy. We would like to be elsewhere together. But that is not in the cards for this year. But it's always good to sit down and talk Star Trek, whether it's a positive or a negative or sad topic. It's Star Trek related, so there's some positive in that, I would think, right?
No, there absolutely is. So today we had planned to bring you our pre-Vegas episode of the Royale.
Right.
One of my favorite season 2 episodes of Next Gen. And it's fun. It's a great way to go into convention week. But since last we left you, our plans have changed significantly to the point where we actually will not be tending the 55-year mission in Las Vegas, and we're going to talk about that today. So we'll do the Royale again at some point when there's a con to go to, I imagine, Dan.
Right. Hopefully that will be sooner rather than later. I know, of course, off in the distance, we have Mission Chicago, which both you and I are very much looking forward to going to, hopefully, if the zombie apocalypse has not completed at that time. But we'll see.
We will see. Also joining us later on, Dan, a very special guest and a dear friend to talk about, their Vegas plans.
Yeah, absolutely. FanSets has decided that they will be attending the convention in Vegas coming up in just a matter of days. They're going to be in the vendor's room. They're going to have all kinds of new stuff to let you folks see and purchase and love. So we're going to have Lew on. Lew from FanSets. That ought to be interesting because you never know what's going to happen when Lew gets on the other side of the microphone.
or what of his product we're going to give away, because I feel like that's always on the table. He gets on with us and he's like, let's give something away.
Exactly.
So we have no idea if that's going to happen or not as we record this, so we'll see.
Hey, Dan and Bill, let's give away our entire inventory. How that?
You two chuckleheads. Well, Dan, let's tell the fine listeners wherever they may be, how they can get in touch with us and tell us their stories of conventions past.
Absolutely. We definitely want to hear from you. And the best way to do that is to go get yourself the Trek Geeks mobile app for your iOS or Android device. Download the app, tap on the More button for a variety of ways to get in touch with us. And hey, while you're at it, you can check out our brand new app-exclusive shows that you won't be able to get anywhere else but on said app. Head on over to trekgeeks.com/app to get all the details. And plus, don't forget about the most positive Facebook group. It's Camp Kittimer. It's the official Facebook group of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network on Facebook. We don't allow any trolling. We don't allow any gatekeeping. We only want people there celebrating what they love about Star Trek. So just search for Camp Kittimer when you're on Facebook. Answer the few very easy questions that we have for you, and we'll let you right in. And as always, we want to thank our wonderful admins, Haley, Jackie, and Fark, for the amazing job they do running the camp. But please remember that any comments or messages that you leave us in any of these places may be used in a future episode. I got through the whole thing. Thing. We're not going to Vegas, and yet I got through it all.
Well, it's hard to tell because, I mean, it was barely intelligible, much like you. Now, Dan, after the break, we're going to have the last of our scheduled How to Vegas segments. Mm-hmm. And we want to tell everybody, please remember, this was recorded a week ago.
Right.
When we thought we were still going to Vegas.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. There's still a convention. Yes, you can still go and possibly have fun. And many of the tips that we offer in this week's segment are still very great if you're going. So after that, we're going to talk about our decision to not go to the convention. But first, these messages.
Okay, I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. If you haven't checked out the galaxy's first interactive Tribble from Science Division, you are absolutely, positively, really missing out.
You know, never in my life did I think I was ever going to buy a Tribble. Because I didn't think I needed one. It's a ball of fur. But I mean, these officially licensed Tribbles from Science Division are probably one of the highest quality Star Trek collectibles I have in my entire collection, Dan. There's a lot of work that went into creating this thing. I mean, and not just the softest fur you can imagine, although that is true.
It's pretty soft.
This Tribble makes sounds straight out of the original series. And you're going to swear that it was used on set during the making of an episode. That's how awesome it is.
It is absolutely awesome. Plus, the Science Division Tribble has its own app. We just talked about our app. Now we're going to talk about their app.
Lots of apps.
Get their own app that you can use to control the Tribble. It's not necessary, but it is a lot of fun to make it scream at people like, I don't know, brother-in-laws, sisters, annoying co-podcast hosts. I don't know. Take your pick. I don't know.
Annoying what?
I don't know. Podcast co-hosts. But fret not, because everybody except Bill knows that I'm going to say it. Tribbles are not dangerous, Bill. They're not. Wow. You didn't think I was going to just say, Tribbles are not dangerous, did you?
Right. Well, I wasn't. But now I am. So yeah, get on over to sciencediv.com right now. Pick up one of the galaxy's first interactive Tribbles for your very own. Plus, while you're there, check out the new shop accessory section where you can get all kinds of Science Division swag, t-shirts, mugs, or even the Science Division tote bag, which is perfect for your convention haul.
It's a legendary bag, actually, too, yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah, absolutely. Just much like you. Science Division. Trouble's never been this fun. And we thank our friends at Science Division for sponsoring this week's episode.
If you're looking to get some great Star Trek t-shirts or even some other gear to add to your life, then definitely be sure to check out the Trek Geeks store on TeePublic. In addition to our own merchandise, you can directly access all of the officially licensed shirts on the TeePublic platform just by going to shop.trekgeeks.com.
And when you use that link, you're automatically helping support the Trek Geeks Podcast Network with every purchase, whether it's from our store or not. With over 150 designs available and new merchandise being added all the time, you're bound to find something perfect for the next Trek Tuesday or for when you're in Vegas.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, TeePublic constantly has special sales and discounts, so definitely check back often. And that all starts by going to the Trek Geeks shop today at shop.trekgeeks.com. Well, Dan, here we are. We're in single digits, less than a week to go until Las Vegas and Creation Entertainment's 55-year mission tour at the Rio All Suites Hotel in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to wrap up our series on how to Vegas just to help folks get ready because we want people to have a great time, buddy.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty exciting. It's less than a week out. It's pretty cool.
Shut up.
I am so excited. Oh my God. I've been packing for like the last week and a half. I got all my stuff ready. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun, but I don't know if it's going to be as fun as when we sit here and talk about our Vegas tips because, well, actually it will be as fun because this year we're going to be hanging out with our guest as he has joined us the past 6 weeks to talk about Vegas tips and convention preparation. He is Mr. Convention. That's his new name. I hope have you put that on your Twitter feed yet, man? I really hope you have.
My new Twitter handle.
Absolutely. It's Ron Wrobel. And Ron, this is our final chance to tell people how to prep for the convention. We've had a great time talking to you the last 6 weeks, and this is not going to be any different because tonight we're going to talk about maybe one of the most important things. What do I do when I get there?
Not that there's nothing to do when you get there.
Nothing
to do.
Just
kick back, relax. It's easy.
Yeah, no, it's easy. Well, I mean, there's a lot to do, and the Vegas convention is bigger than any Star Trek convention right now on the planet. And it may seem kind of intimidating or even daunting to some people. So that brings up the good question. I mean, you arrive in Vegas. You're pretty much assaulted by advertisements from every show and restaurant and hotel in the city. What now? You get to your hotel. What do you guys do first? Ron, what do you do when you get to the hotel first?
So I've planned out my first day. The first day is the only day I don't do a lot of con-related stuff when I get there. So first trip, very exciting, Walmart, picking up groceries, water, soda. And then from there, it's heading right down to the Strip and just walking as much of the Strip as I can. Starting at the Mandalay Bay, taking the tram up to the Luxor, and then hopping out and just walking most of the Strip. It's so much fun and really hot.
Oh, wow.
I've never done that.
That's a good 4.5 miles of Strip. I just want to throw that out there.
Yep, in 100-degree plus weather.
Degree heat. Yeah, well, so we know you take a good long nap after that. Dan, what do you like to do as soon as you get into Vegas?
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing I do when we get off the plane is I start to relax as soon as we get in the cab. Because we get off the plane and it's air conditioned at the airport, but then you go outside and it's like you walk through those doors and you're hit by a bus of heat. So we wait in line, depending on what time of day we get in that cab, which is air conditioned, and then I start to relax. And like you said, advertisements everywhere. I kind of zone all that out. We have a good time talking to the cab driver usually. We get to the hotel, we check in, I unpack everything. I can't do anything until everything is completely unpacked out of my suitcases, in the safe, in the closet, whatever you have to do. And then I wake you up because you've probably fallen asleep already. And then we decide to go do something.
That's actually a pretty accurate depiction of what happens. You forgot about the whole ironing your underwear thing, which will come up, I'm sure, in part 8. That is what happens. Typically when I get there, I like to unwind. Usually after flying across country, I don't care what time of day it is, I'm usually hungry. Yeah. I usually want to get something to eat. And that means we're usually making a late night run to someplace to get some grub.
Yep.
Usually it's the Pepper Mill, but right now they're closing at midnight. I don't think we're going to make that this year.
I don't think we'll make it either.
Yeah. So we may be Postmatesing it up, but I like to ease into it because I know if I stop, I'm going to fall asleep and I'm going to be done till tomorrow, personally.
Right. Yep, absolutely. No, I think that's a good idea. And I'm sure, like we talked about last week, there's plenty of places to eat. I'm sure we will find something, and I'm sure it will be fantastic because you're the Vegas guy, not me, and you'll pick something scrumptious, my friend.
We're not going to Dairy Queen. I'm sorry.
Damn.
So different this time is we will have to mask up.
Right.
As long as we're indoors, that's the case. The exceptions are obviously outside. If you're outside, that is not mandated. And you don't have to be wearing a mask if you're eating or drinking, which is, well, kind of convenient because who wants to eat or drink through a mask? So a good reminder for everybody, bring your masks. You may want to bring multiples because the con is 5 days long, and you may want to swap them out, Ron.
Agreed. I have just a pack of those disposable ones. I think we're going to be flying through those. It gets hot. You get sweaty. I think we'll be changing those quite a bit. it's going to be an interesting convention. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's definitely going to be fun. Luckily, a lot of those like me, we eat and drink nonstop, so the mask will always be partially down. Something's always going into the mouth in Vegas, but definitely want to have that mask handy.
Now, Dan, one of the things that people will have to consider, those people who bought discount single day tickets through the Groupon or Gold Star, is they're going to have to actually register and get their wristband every single day in the registration hall. And that's a really important point. You want to be sure to plan a lot of time for that, because I'm sure a lot of folks have done that this year.
Yeah, they had great deals this year for the convention, so people did that. And it doesn't take a long time depending on what time you get there, but you do want to plan ahead, because you do have to go all the way down to where the convention is and at that front desk wait in line to get that. I've done it before. It's not too bad, but you do want to plan that extra time. It's also really important, even though you're going to be inside and even though it's air conditioned there, you want to stay hydrated as much as possible. So it's not what you do when you get there, but you want to stay hydrated right from the beginning. So, as soon as you get off the plane, as soon as you get out of the car, get some bottled water, get them nice and cold, and stay hydrated. You don't want to get dehydrated while you're at the convention. You don't want to get sick, obviously. And you were talking about masks, and one of the things this is kind of a weird thing to get excited about, but I bought a bunch of masks when everything was going on, and then I put them away for the last 2 months, so I get to take them out again. I got a bunch of Trek Geeks masks, and I got an Infinity Gauntlet mask and a Jaws mask. I am ready, and it's going to be awesome to wear those. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so glad you regaled us with that story.
Yeah.
That's a great reminder, the hydration. Las Vegas is in the middle of the desert. And you're going to perspire and you're not going to realize it, because it is an incredibly super dry heat. Ron, there's water stations all throughout the convention area, especially in the main theater. I believe in the secondary theater too, and they are constantly refilling those things all day long, if memory serves.
They are, and it's, bring a cup with you, bring a plastic. I always bring an insulated jug, or hit Starbucks and just keep your cup with you throughout the day. But you definitely want to stay dehydrated, especially if you're frequenting the bars. It's easy to drink alcohol and lose touch of how much alcohol you've had, and that's dehydrating. So very, very important. Drink lots of water.
I would not know anything about that.
Yeah.
Not
right.
a thing.
Right.
Dan, one of the most important pieces is the first day you're there, I think, is to really just take a good, hard look at the schedule. And there's a lot of information there, and it's all in super tiny print.
Yep.
But I think it's important to sort of game plan your first day, because you want to check out what's going on every other day.
Yeah. Now they do they usually release the schedule ahead of the convention starting, so you can look at it online. But when you get that program, you want to look at the program and you want to see everything that's going on. And it can be extremely overwhelming, especially if it's one of your first times to one of these conventions. There are hundreds of activities going on. So you want to find out when your autograph sessions are, when your photo op sessions are. So take the time to sit back, relax, and read through that and see what's going on. And also, I don't know if they're going to have it this year, but we talked about it during one of our Vegas prep conversations. There's an app that was available at a previous convention, so you could see all of that stuff right on your phone, which might be a little easier, because like you said, Bill, that print is tiny and my eyes are not young anymore. So yeah, we need something that you can kind of zoom in on.
Yeah, neither's your face. Ron, you were going to say something.
I was going to say that app, I think they are going to use it this year. The convention is listed on it. It doesn't have the schedule currently. But in the past, you've been able to actually build your itinerary right on there. Nice. So it's a really easy go-to. And, typically they will run out of paper schedules. You can lose your schedule. Easy way to see what's coming up that you're trying to see.
Now, the schedule is not released until really a few days before the convention, if memory serves. That frustrates a lot of people because they spend over a year planning the convention. But as we've learned in the past couple of weeks, there can be a lot of last-minute cancellations as far as guests. So probably like Monday, Tuesday, people should expect to see the schedule at the latest, do you think, Ron?
I think so. I think in 2019, too, it came out just a day or two before. It wasn't very far. And this convention, as we've seen with all the changes in guests, there's going to be a lot of last-minute changes. Also, in years past, there have been changes during the convention. Somebody might get delayed arriving, and Creation does such a good job in the main theater, especially of informing you. They record all the panels, and you can see a small square in one of them with text. And if anything changes, it's always listed right there. So it's always a good idea to stay in touch. And join the Facebook groups. There's a lot of information on there if anything changes. It gets shared very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. The Star Trek Convention Experiences Facebook group is a wealth of information, even during the con week. Like you said, the graphics on the big screens throughout the main theater, those are key. Those also tell you when some of your autographs and photo opportunities are. Photo ops are going to be a little different this year, I imagine. You won't have to wear a mask for your photo op, Dan, but it is possible there could be a plexiglass shield.
Yeah, it is possible. I guess it all depends on the celebrity that you're going to have a photo with. If it's there, great. If not, great. I don't know if you guys are doing any photo ops. Have you decided to do any? I'm doing two I'm very excited about, but have you guys done any?
I'm thinking about doing the one on the bridge with Shatner. I'm still kind of twist my arm into doing it.
Ooh, wow. That's a
Ron, what about you?
one.
Do it.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
I did. I've got a couple lined up already. There's a buy-sell group, too, for people that haven't been going to the convention who had previously purchased some of these tickets. So there have been some fun deals to be found on that group, too, from people that aren't going. So I've got a lot lined up.
Nice.
I can imagine we're just going to see you taking pictures with people all weekend long, Ron. And that's in the middle of the hallway. You'll be posing for photos and of course people can't see what I just did, but it looked really great.
It was great. I decided to do something that I've wanted to do for a while, and that's get the group photo with the Rat Pack. I'm very excited about that. And Nana is now part of the Rat Pack, so she's going to be in that picture also. So I'm really excited about that. And one of my favorite actors, Oded Fair, Admiral Vance, got to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll be getting that with an autograph, so I can't wait for that. So, yeah.
So are you dressing up for your Rat Pack photo?
I don't know. Like a tux? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Right.
do they wear a tux in those photos? I don't know if they do or not.
Typically they do.
Oh, I might have to do something then. I'll get one of the big...
I think it'd be great if you were the only one in the photo in a tux and they were all wearing torn blue jeans
Tuxedo
and Leonard
t-shirt.
Skinner shirts.
Leonard Skinner. Well, they're a great band though. So so I'm very
they
excited
were.
about that. Looking forward to it.
Sorry, I couldn't pass that up.
That's
I
okay.
apologize. So, guys, any last-minute suggestions or thoughts as we wrap up our How to Vegas series? Because let's face it, we're going to be there in just a few days. Any final thoughts for people trying to get their con on, Ron? Look what I did there.
Wow.
Stay hydrated, get some sleep, and those are the big two. Wash your hands, wear a mask.
Yeah. Dan.
What do I do when I get there? Have fun, people.
Cry.
Take it all in, enjoy it, and just have fun. Yeah, wear your mask.
Yeah, I got to agree. It's been a while since we've all been able to get together. Just savor these days because they've been a long time coming. And I've been looking forward to it like you wouldn't believe. And so has everybody else there. Mm-hmm. So enjoy yourself, be safe, have fun, wear your mask, wash your hands, and just enjoy the moment because it's going to be fabulous. We, the three of us, will see you all in Vegas. So, Dan, first up, we want to thank Ron Wrobel for all of the help he has given us in the last 7 installments of How to Vegas. We greatly appreciate Ron's contributions to these segments, and we hope he has an amazing time in Las Vegas because Ron is just a wonderful, wonderful guy.
Yeah, he really is. His enthusiasm about conventions is just wonderful. It was great to talk to him. I know he's going to have a great time. I know he's going to stay safe, as we hope everybody does out there. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but it was great to have him, and he had some great tips, which we hadn't even thought of, which is always good because a lot of people are a lot smarter than we are.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really have anything to add to that. But so that takes us to the news of the week. Roughly, less than 48 hours after we recorded that segment with Ron for this week, we got on a conference call with Lew and John from FanSets. And as a reminder, Lew from FanSets coming up in just a bit to talk about the FanSets Vegas presence. But we started to talk about the FanGeeks Party. Mm-hmm. Because, we're in a situation in Las Vegas and Clark County, Nevada, where it may not be the best idea to gather 300 people in a room where masks are going to be on and off all the time in the commission of, say, I don't know, eating and drinking.
Right, absolutely. At last check, which was several days ago, Las Vegas and Clark County accounted for over 80% of the new cases of the Delta variant and COVID-19. And we just felt that, it's not very IDIC of us to cram all these people into one room where masks will be on and off, because it will be, like you said, a lot of eating, a lot of drinking going on. And that's just a combination for badness. So we felt that it would be a good idea to have a discussion, the four of us, and decide what the best course of action would be. And for everyone's own safety, ours, Lou, John's, everybody attending, the staff at Tommy Rockers, we decided that canceling the party was the best thing to do, to make sure that nobody gets sick.
No, that's true. And at that point, because we talked to Lou and John for about an hour,
Right.
Last Friday. And I wrote the following statement, which we posted not only on Camp Kittimer, but also in the Star Trek Convention Experiences group on Facebook. To our dear friends, it is with the heaviest of hearts that Trek Geeks and FanSets announced the cancellation of the 2021 FanGeeks Party that was scheduled for Friday, August 13th at Tommy Rockers. Given the current state of the COVID pandemic in Nevada and the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus, we simply cannot ask anyone to gather in a large area without masks. This was an incredibly tough decision for us. We love this fandom, and in our minds, the safest course of action is to cancel FanGeeks Party 2021. We were looking forward to this party as much as you were, and we hope to be able to gather with you again at a time that is safer for us all. If you ordered tickets online, you'll be receiving an email from Trek Geeks, which will allow you to get your free souvenir pin, so please keep an eye out for that. For those of you still traveling to Las Vegas, please stay safe and stay healthy. Live long and prosper. So I'm going to tell you right now that is the suckiest message I've ever had to write.
Mm-hmm. It really is. And you sent it to me before we posted it. And I could tell just by your wording how much it hurt to have to write that. I mean, I've said it before. The FanGeeks Party that we've had the honor of hosting several times is my highlight of the convention. It's so fun. Yeah. It's so great to get all of our Star Trek family together in one place to celebrate Star Trek, to win prizes, to have an evening of fun with our friends at FanSets, and not having it was like a dagger. It was like the dagger that went through Picard in the Tapestry, to be honest with you. That's what it feels like. So it was difficult. It was difficult to read. I know it was difficult for you to write, but at the same time, it really is the right thing to do. Now, I'm not going to get on my high horse too much, but I am going to get on my horse for a second, or my speaking soapbox, whatever the hell you call it. Yeah. And say, I'm tired of what's going on. This whole issue with the virus coming back, I'm now really pissed off at the people that won't get the virus. It's a different thing if you can't get it, if you're underage or whatnot, or you have health issues. But for the people that have decided not to get it for whatever ridiculous reason, you're now affecting me personally and Bill personally, and we can't go to something that we really wanted to go to. So it's sad that we're in this situation. I'm glad over the last few days that we have seen an uptick in vaccinations throughout the country. But we're always gonna take the high road and do what's right for our fans and for Star Trek fans, which is why we decided to do what we're doing.
Yeah, and I can't disagree with any of that. I mean, it's if you look at Nevada overall, at least before we made our announcement, the rough estimate was 48 to 49% of Nevadans had been have received the vaccine or immunized. And that's still pretty low. I mean, we're living in an area of the country, you and I, Dan, where 70% of New Hampshireites or more have received the vaccine.
Yeah.
So that explains why Delta hasn't spread the same way to some extent. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're a less populous location, but we've been hearing officials say for weeks that the best way to slow or stop the spread of Delta is to get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Because the more people are vaccinated, the less people it can ravage.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, New Hampshire is less populated, Vermont's less populated. But if you look at a map of the United States where all the COVID upticks are going, the entire Northeast is the lowest in the country because they're the most vaccinated. And I just wish that other places in the country would take this more seriously than they do. But they're not yet, and And I think as a result, this is going to drag on a lot longer than it needs to drag on. Now, I will say this whole conversation of ours started last Friday, and I got to give credit to our dear, dear friend, Amy Imhoff, because it was her tweet on Friday morning that really got me thinking about what was going on. She posted something on Twitter along the lines of, I'm really kind of nervous. What does everybody think about Vegas because of all the surges that are going on? And I actually replied that I'm still planning on going. I'm going to wear a mask. I'm going to follow all the protocols. And I don't see anything changing that for right now. Literally an hour later, you and I were on the phone with Lew and John canceling the party and then actually canceling our trip. That's how quickly everything happened. And I don't know if that would have happened without that little kick in the pants from that tweet from Amy.
Well, and honestly, I'd been having my own doubts for at least a week before that.
Yeah.
I just didn't say anything about them.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest about that because I didn't necessarily want to be the person that killed our Vegas trip.
Yeah.
And that's on me. I should have had enough courage before that to say, you know what, this is the wrong decision to go. I don't want people to think that we're canceling. We cancel our Vegas trip because we're not having the party.
Right.
That's not
absolutely.
the case.
No.
We're canceling the Vegas trip because in our minds, it's not safe for our family and the people we love to potentially bring the Delta variant back.
Right.
And I think that we need to be clear about that.
Absolutely. No, we felt it was the safest decision for ourselves and our loved ones. Now, I just lost my dad. My mom is 80. She is vaccinated, but still, people who are getting vaccinated are getting the vaccine, and people of older age are high risk of it. So I'm not going to do anything to put her in jeopardy. And with my dad passing, we see her like all the time now. I mean, it's just something that goes on constantly because, we don't want her to be alone and stuff like that. So, and it just makes sense. And not only do we want to keep our family safe, we want to keep other people safe. We want to keep strangers safe, which is why we're not doing this. And I just wish more people would take that kind of attitude. I mean, the FanGeeks Party, like I said, is my favorite thing. But there's so many things in Vegas I was looking forward to this year, and it really sucks that we've decided to do this. But at the same time, we knew we needed to do it for our own well-being.
Well, and that's it. I mean, I have every confidence that the people at the convention would be vaccinated or take appropriate precautions. But we're talking about the city of Las Vegas, which literally offers thousands of things to do.
Right.
Many of which, at the Rio, away from the Rio, all over town. And that X factor there was what made me decide to not go because, I mean, all right, so Creation has implemented new procedures for the con.
Mm-hmm.
You either have to show proof of vaccination or if you're not vaccinated, you have to get a test before the con and then another one during the con. So, but the thing is that you can still be exposed to the Delta variant as somebody who is fully vaccinated on the day one of the con or the day before the con starts.
Right.
Go through the entire con, maybe get a test when you get home and not bang out a positive result on your COVID test until a couple of days after that.
Right.
So that's really what made me decide, you know what? This is not the right time to go. This is not the right decision to go.
Yep. We've actually been wondering, we've seen over the course of the last few days since we announced, there are some other guests that have decided not to go. There are others that have decided to greatly reduce the amount of time that they will be in Vegas. A couple of people, I think, were set to be there for 3 or 4 days. Now they're only going to be there doing autographs 1 day or photo ops. You're going to have plexiglass at the autograph table. You're going to have plexiglass between you and the guest if you're getting a photo, possibly. I mean, there's just a lot of things that are going on out there. And even with all of these procedures and safety protocols in place, just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like the right thing to do. So luckily, if you want to look at a positive side of this, luckily we have Mission Chicago planned to take place in April. Hopefully things will be cleaned up and safe by then. So we can look forward to that. But for right now, we just have to sit back and take our lumps and know that it wasn't the time. And also, let me make this very clear, Bill, and I'm sure you agree. We are in no way saying that people who are going are making the wrong decision. This was the right decision for us. If you are going, we want you to have a blast. We want you to just enjoy being with the Star Trek family again. Just stay safe and be smart. But in no way are we downplaying anybody's decision to go to the convention.
No, not at all. I mean, we're not going to judge anybody. We're not going to we're not going to downplay. We're not going to think differently of anybody. This is the choice that's right for us and our families. When I told my wife Friday afternoon that we were canceling our Vegas trip, she felt terrible for me, but she also said that she felt kind of relieved because she wasn't really sure she wanted me to go.
Yeah, same with Sue. Absolutely.
And I can appreciate that. I think I've said to you all along that if my wife came right out and said, I don't want you to go to Vegas, I would not go to Vegas.
Right. Yep.
But she didn't want to say, she didn't want to be the one to ruin my Vegas trip, just like I didn't want to be the one to ruin our Vegas trip.
Yeah. No, totally cool.
So it's a horrible situation. I feel bad for all of the creation volunteers that are going to be there that weekend because they're going to work now exponentially harder. Mm-hmm. And on most cases, I mean, I can believe that, you know, the people attending are going to be nothing but gracious to the creation volunteers. But I mean, it says, or it should go without saying that, I mean, kindness is going to go a long way because everybody's dealing with something in attending this con that none of us have ever had to do before.
Right. Right, absolutely. And yeah, be kind to everyone, the creation volunteers, the wait staff at any of the restaurants or bars that you may go to. These people
hotel staff,
all the stuff. These are the front lines people. You know, a lot of people, I know, and some people that I've listened to or talked to, people only think of first responders as that group of essentials. There are so many more essential workers, and all of these people that you're going to be interacting with when you're out in Vegas are those essential staff that need to be on the job still, and they may have things going on at home, and may have friends or family that are dealing with COVID or are sick or dealing with financial problems. Show them kindness. You are lucky enough to be able to attend the event and have fun. Stay safe, of course. So share that love and share that happiness with those people because they're working really hard to make sure that you're having a good time out there.
Well, and some of them may have been furloughed or laid off until, you know, Vegas reopened.
Yep.
This is really one of the first big conventions to come back to Vegas.
Right.
And I mean, Dan, I'm seeing people, you know, in the Star Trek Convention Experiences group on Facebook saying they've decided not to go. They're trying to sell their tickets. I'm trying to sell my ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Russ canceled, I think it was yesterday, finally. I'm sure he won't be the last cancellation over the next couple of days.
Right.
As you mentioned, that's been going on, but it's definitely going to, even if we had gone to Vegas, it's going to be a markedly different experience than anything we've ever seen before in Vegas.
Very, and again, I don't want to talk negatively because I don't want people to think bad about those who are going. I got to tell you, if I was going to be getting a photo with Odette Fair, if I had a plexiglass thing between the two of us, I would be like, oh God, this is just ridiculous. So in one way, I'm kind of glad that that's not happening. Hopefully that won't be the case because I don't think it's mandatory. I think it's only if that guest wants to have that. I'm not 100% positive of that, so don't take my word for it. But it kind of seems like it's not really a photo op if something like that is there. So I, for one, am not too disappointed that we won't be experiencing something like that. But for the people that are, I hope they still have a great time and like what they do.
Maybe with Shatner, you can recreate the whole Star Trek II Wrath of Khan scene where Spock is in the warp chamber.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
Well, because I mean, it's a clear see-through divider. I mean, you can't get your Katra to Shatner. I mean, because the wall's there. No?
Some of us at least have a Katra, Bill.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
So I know there are many events that are still going on during STLV after hours. So your best bet would be to check the Star Trek Convention Experiences group on Facebook, connect with other Star Trek fans. I know our dear Sci-Fi Sisters are going to be there in Vegas. They're going to do a meetup of some sort. Mike and Jamie from the Divine Treasury are going to be there. Mm-hmm. Johnson and Mike from Deep Space Pride are going to be there. So the Trek Geeks Network will have definitely people there. We will not have a booth there after all this year because you and I won't be there.
Right. Absolutely.
which is a bit of a
another sad
heartbreaker. It's a bit of a heartbreaker because this is the first real opportunity we've had to showcase our network in Vegas. But credit to every single human on our podcast network that understood when we announced we weren't going to be able to go to Vegas.
Yep, we got the best people on the network. We love them all. We're so happy that they understood and agreed. And also thanks to the creation staff for understanding when we told them we weren't going to make it. And want to thank Adam again for all of the stuff that he talked to us about a few weeks back when he had him on as a guest on an episode. I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, there's so many positive things still to look forward to with those going to Vegas. It's just unfortunately negative for us that we won't be able to enjoy it with everyone.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard to believe that 2 years ago this summer was the last time we were at a Star Trek convention. It
was 2 years ago today. It came up on Twitter that Picard or Patrick Stewart is announced
3 years ago.
3 years. Yeah.
3 years. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Jean-Luc Picard is back.
Here's the thing that kills me is that I don't want to look at my Facebook memories.
I know.
Or Twitter for the next week and a half because it's going to be conventions gone by.
Yep.
And that it kills just a little bit.
And on top of that, it's also going to hurt to be watching Twitter feeds of all the people that are there tweeting about all the stuff that they're experiencing, and we're going to be like, we're not there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's in the immortal words of Bill Belichick, we're on to Chicago. Star Trek Mission Chicago at the McCormick Place Convention Center starts in 247 days.
Right.
And it sucks to have that countdown because I'd had it down to almost single digits when I deleted my Vegas countdown.
Absolutely.
By the time you and I attend an official Star Trek convention, again, 977 days will have elapsed.
Unbelievable. We're kind of hoping our dear friends up in Ticonderoga, New York, have announced that Trekconderoga will be back for Friday, September 24th through Sunday, September 26th of this year. Hopefully, I mean, that's not far away, and there's still a lot of pandemic going around. Hopefully that will still be going on. And if it does take place and things are better, hopefully you and I can take a drive out there because it's a short drive. So that'd be awesome. So that'll cut that time down way a lot. Well, it will, a con of some kind. I was charting from official convention to official convention. Right, I know, but anything in between is fun too.
But I mean, Trekconderoga is always a great time. It's such a beautiful little town.
It is.
In a very picturesque part of the United States. Plus, George Takei is going to be there, which doesn't suck. That's going to be a really fun weekend. Who knows who else may be there? But this is all predicated on the fact that Delta doesn't get worse.
Or a new variant doesn't start coming out, which is worse than Delta.
You mean like Lambda, which is already reported in some places.
Yep.
Which could happen.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if we have to stay home from that too, it's also not the worst decision, as much as both you and I would really, really, really want to go.
Yep, absolutely. Everything is predicated on whether or not it is safe to do so. And we will not put ourselves, we will not put our family, we will not put our loved ones, friends, or, like I said earlier, strangers in any danger. And we'll continue to make that decision based on what the science and the data shows. And right now, it just didn't make sense for us.
No, it really doesn't. It's a heartbreaker. We would really love the ability to be with everybody again, because it was an interaction last year that not having it really just threw me for a loop.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
I was not in a good space after August, when they said, well, we're going to move it to December. And then after December, when they canceled it.
Right.
And then, with the vaccines, I'm like, I think we all kind of got a spring in our step. Like, all right, we're getting on to be on the other side of this. And now here we are just 4 months after that, Dan. 4 months after we got vaccines put in our arms.
Yep.
Where we seem like we're right back in the mess again.
Right.
And I think that's the part that's toughest to deal with.
It's tough and it's aggravating because it was, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, 100% preventable. But unfortunately, people didn't want to take that route. So here we are. So we will just have to keep our fingers crossed that everything will be better in the coming months so that we can get back to getting together with our Star Trek brethren and sistren. Sistren?
No.
Okay.
I've had a number of people ask me, so I'll ask you first, and then we can talk about me. How are you doing? Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm bummed. I'm very bummed, but I also know that it's because I know it's the right thing. It's okay. I'll be honest. Sue's ecstatic that I'll be home all week. I'm still taking the week off. Unfortunately, she can't take all the week off from her work because she's got a very busy week planned. But we're going to take some time. We're going to be together. I'm going to get some stuff done around the house. And I said that I would cater to her every whim for the week because I'll be able to. So that'll be good. We'll have some things we'll be able to do. I also know not to get melancholy, but my dad's headstone was finally put in place up at the Veteran Cemetery up in Bosco.
Nice.
And so we're going to take a trip up there to see that because we haven't seen it yet. So I'm okay. I said earlier it's going to be sad to see the tweets. It'll be great to see the people having fun out there. And even though we will not be there, I'll be glad to see that people are having fun. So I'll be all right. But I'm more concerned about you, to be honest with you, buddy, because I know how hard you took it last year, and I know that it was just up until less than a week ago. We were just so excited about everything. So let's move to how you're feeling.
No, I appreciate that. I mean, I think I'm in a slightly better spot than I was last year because honestly, Dan, I don't know that I was 100% convinced that my attendance was going to happen this year based on the world.
Yeah.
Based on the fact that people suck. Yep. Based on the fact that, like you said, this was thoroughly preventable, and yet we as humans couldn't prevent it.
Yep.
No, we all used to say we'd avoid things like the plague, and now I'm learning at this phase in my life that people will not avoid a plague.
Nope. I've said it before. Sometimes, I walk down the street and somebody's walking a dog. I'm more interested in the dog than the human because humans are stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they are. So.
Especially in large numbers.
Yeah. Well.
I'm a little heartbroken because I really wanted the vacation. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. We've been working at home now for almost a year and a half straight, you and I.
Yep.
The worst part about taking time off is that I still have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning because my wife is working.
Right.
So that makes it feel like there's been no break. Now, I know some people in some parts of the world are going to say, boo friggin' who? But, I mean, vacations are our attempt to unwind.
Right.
And one of the things I like to do on vacation is not get up to an alarm unless I absolutely have to.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm still getting up at 6 o'clock every day and really don't get a chance to get that mental break, that's what really does me in.
Right.
And that's really the worst part of this is that the vacation I was looking forward to has been yanked out.
Right.
Because it's going to be back to business, honestly.
Right.
I'm taking the week off too, but it's still not going to feel like a break.
Well, when that alarm goes off, you can kiss that face of that beautiful little creature behind you there every morning. That'll make you feel better. Oh,
I do every morning.
There you go.
She's the most adorable dog in the world, but usually as soon as the alarm goes off, she's like, I want to go OUT right now.
Go outside. Yeah.
Right now. And I got to take her on a leash. It's not like I can let her out in the yard.
Right. That's true. Well, we'll get through it, buddy.
And plus, I mean, this is a chance every year for us to reconnect with guys that we hang out with every year.
Yep.
And now we haven't seen them in 2 years.
Yeah. I mean,
the Caseys of the world, the Chris Mumfreys, the Chris Hill, those folks, Craig and Aaron. And
why did you put Casey in that list?
And Sean and the other Chris and
everybody.
And Champion and a whole bunch of other people that we like to get together and have a nice dinner with.
I was looking so forward to seeing Norm because we hadn't seen him in a couple of years, not only because of the pandemic, but because he hadn't been at a convention before then because he was doing some other stuff, which was great for him, but we missed him. So, yeah, I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer. Oh, well, you know what? Take what you get. Take the positive along with the negative. Like I said, I'll look forward to doing things around here. I got my Infinity Gauntlet Lego thing, so I'll be building that. I'll be doing the light thing, which I'm petrified to do. It looks like it's gonna just drive me crazy, but I'm gonna
warned
do it.
You.
I know. I'm looking. I'm like, I'm not an electrician. What the frig? What is this? But I'm gonna do my best. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna maybe I'm gonna play some Star Trek Online. I don't know. I may go to a driving range here or there.
That's funny.
Why is it funny?
Because driving.
Because why?
I don't know.
You're an idiot. Maybe I'll kidnap you and you can put your clubs in the car. We'll both go to the driving range.
I do not swing a club very well anymore, my friend, because of my elbow.
Well, that's why I keep telling you to wear that elbow sleeve.
And
dummy.
I do. Why are you calling me dummy? I wear it.
Because you're
you
a
told
dummy.
me wear it, I wear it. Okay.
Dummy.
See, that doesn't make any sense at all. But
Tennis elbow, golfer's elbow,
I'm not going to Vegas with you.
all very fixable. Dolt. Dolt.
Wow.
We're bringing that word back.
Yes. Hashtag dolt. Dolt
So
whip.
I would like to whip you in a heartbeat, like Indiana Jones and that guy where he just shoots him instead. Yeah.
Nice.
So, as much as it sucks to not be in Vegas, we've started to think about Chicago.
Yep.
We have no idea what our presence is going to look like there. We have no idea if CBS and ReadPop will actually let us have a booth.
Right. We're checking.
But if not, we're still going to have a presence there somehow.
We are.
And we're going to do some fun things, which I think will excite some people.
I'll wear a bow if it means that we have presence.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
We're going to do some things that I think are pretty cool and that you and I have started to talk about a little bit that we think would be some great ideas.
Yep.
And to maybe to benefit some other folks, which I think would be really the key to us doing anything. So more about that as the days and weeks drawn on, as we have now, how many months ago?
6, something like that.
7?
7 months, something like
eight,
that.
8 months. 8 months.
4 and 4 is 8. Yeah, 8 months. Wee. 8 months from like tomorrow or something. I don't know. Whatever. 8 months.
That's 8 months from next week. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
So,
Anyway.
but Dan, so part of our decision to cancel the FanGeeks Party involved the guys from FanSets, and coming up now is a chat with one of our dear friends to talk about how Vegas is going to look different for FanSets.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of our most favorite people in the world. We met him at a convention the first year that they were in business as FanSets, and we're going to have Lew Halboth on with us to talk about their decision to go to the convention and be in the vendor's room. We hope to God that they all stay safe and wear their masks. But in addition to that decision for attending, Lew's going to give us the down low on some new pins that they're going to be debuting in Vegas in less than a week. Can't wait to hear what they're all about. I'm going to buy them all. I don't even care what they are. It could be the guy in the transporter in Star Trek The Motion Picture who's just a load of protoplasm, and I'll still buy it. I don't care.
Well, there you have it. I mean, that's not the ultimate product testimonial. I don't know what is.
That's an idea. I'm going to give him that pin idea when we talk to him.
And our dear friend Lew Halboth joins us now.
Hey, Bill and Dan, how are you guys?
Oh my God, it's so good to see you on camera, and I'm really upset that I'm not going to be able to see you in person next week.
Yeah, that's it's the only bad part of the show next week I'm not looking forward to is none of your listeners know how often the three of us go back and forth all the time on stuff, and it's really kind of hard to believe that it's been 103 weeks since we've seen each other.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, Dan and I were talking about this earlier. By the time, assuming that Mission Chicago goes off on time without a hitch, it will have been, if you can believe this, 977 days since we'll have seen you.
Yeah, we got to do something about that.
Yeah. That's too long. Well, I mean, it's a long time to be without that sort of that congregation of Star Trek fans being around your tribe, as it were, your Trek family. But it's particularly tough because this past Friday, you and us were part of a discussion to decide to essentially cancel the FanGeeks Party. And we talked a little bit about this earlier, but I know this is a big event for you guys every single year. It's a big event for us every single year. If you just want to tell us some of your thoughts regarding the cancellation and ultimately your decision to go to Vegas.
Well, first off, the decision to not have the party and not have you guys there is heartbreaking. It literally taken away the financial end. I mean, that FanSets has to do from a show like this, because part of the reason we decided to go is we have to do projections as a licensed manufacturer of product. There's stuff that we have to provide to maintain that license. And when we did the third quarter estimates, the show was in there. So we've to maintain our standard of licensing with CBS, we've got to go and move some steel down in Vegas. So there's the financial, and also my daughter's getting married 2 weeks after that. So there was a little bit of a nervous, because Amity and Joe will be there as well as John and Lorene. But if one of us goes down, it puts that entire ceremony in jeopardy. And so we're taking a calculated risk. The other part of this, though, is we've now gone through, and this isn't something we just get to buy airline tickets, pack a bag, and go do. Right. We prepare every year. Last year we prepared to go with the Voyager set to Vegas. We didn't get to do that. This year we prepared with the Enterprise set, and even though we didn't get all of the likenesses done, we're still waiting for Scott Bakula to finalize his approval on that, so we won't have that in Vegas. But there's a lot of preparation, and that with that in there is like, you know what? For our own sanity, for our own peace of mind of continuing to do with Star Trek, we made the decision over the weekend that we were going to go, and that it didn't come lightly. John's wife is immune compromised. She may or may not be at the booth a whole lot, but we just, that there's, it's a business trip for us. I mean, it's there's, as much as we enjoy hanging with everybody and doing everything, we're also on the clock with our license and certain things that we have to do within that to maintain our standing. And quite honestly, we're just getting this Delta program rolling. People will never know how much work we put into going through each piece and making it right, and how much money is sunk into getting the right piece. So we financially, FanSets needs to go to this show, and that was part of the decision.
And it makes sense because, we're not just saying it's because we're such good friends of yours and partners with it. You're one of the most popular tables in the vendors room. I mean, your product has been one of the top products for a long time. You have great pins. You're going to have great new pins, which we'll talk about in a little while. But of course, the most important thing is your guys' safety. I'm sure that, with the wedding coming up and John's wife's possibility of her being able to catch something easier than other people, we're sure that you guys are going to be masked up and keeping distances everything. But I will say that I know that when we saw your announcement the other day that you were going to be going to Vegas, I have seen nothing but, oh, I'm so happy I'm going to see you, and a very, very positive reaction. So we hope that you have an awesome time and you get to see all the people that we won't be able to see. But the most important thing is to keep that safety factor in play while you're out there.
Oh, without a doubt, it is the most paramount thing, whether no matter what you've got going on in your life. And the one great thing about our Star Trek community and fans is that nobody takes this lightly. Everybody is going to do the protocols that are set in place by Clark County and the hotel and creation, out of respect for each other, just not themselves. So it's a good thing, and I think it'll encumber the cosplay people more than it'll encumber the vendors, because I mean, we stand there in normal clothes. Just think about if Galt had to wear a mask. I mean,
it might have improved the situation.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
well,
really.
Okay. Well, geez.
Well, Lou, I think we're just going to be happy you're wearing pants for a change. I mean,
I'm not wearing pants.
No, you're going to wear shorts. There. I know it already going in.
I'm going in shorts, man.
You go in shorts in the wintertime. What are you talking about?
Every day, baby.
I think that one of the things that's good for people to understand is like it's not like FanSets is run out of a 100-story office building with lots of floor space. You're coming to us right now from your basement, which is essentially the FanSets HQ. When we talk about small business, I mean, you guys are the epitome of small business, and
we are the smallest licensee probably in the history of licensing.
And cons like this are the lifeblood for your business, especially in the summer months.
Yeah, I mean, we've have not been to a show, which is really important. I mean, I cannot stress to you how we wouldn't be doing what we're doing today if it wouldn't have been for this Las Vegas show. Getting in front of the fans, meeting the fans, creating that bond that we've done. If we wouldn't have had the Las Vegas show over the last, 5 years since we've been in business, we've had 4 shows. If we wouldn't have had those shows, we wouldn't. We've got legacy customers who have been with us all 5 of those years, and they're agents of FanSets. You'd think that they're on the payroll the way they support us. Not just financially with their orders, but with their support in every, on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else, or just talking to other fans. We wouldn't be halfway down the road if it wasn't for those guys.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And we're two of those people. We met you the first year that you were in Vegas, and we're like, oh, look at these are pins. And that started that great relationship. So Vegas is coming up in less than a week. And of course, you're going to be packing up the vans, and all the gear is going to go in there, and all that stuff is going to be happening, and you're going to be driving. And when you get there, you're going to be setting everything up. Tell me what it's going to be like for you after 2 years pretty much of not getting to a convention, of having people walk through the doors into the vendors' rooms that you can fist bump and welcome them back and sell them some great pins.
Well, the fist bump will be the easy part. The hard part is not to embrace them,
right.
Because it's hard to describe, Dan, because you to understand what you get out of a Star Trek convention, you have to go to a Comic-Con and not experience it.
Right.
It's really it's like, because at a Comic-Con you don't have that interaction. It's purely transactional.
Right.
People come up, they look at your stuff, they ask where your Marvel product is. I don't have any. And or my Star Wars pins, and then they're down the road. Whereas the Star Trek show is absolutely different. It's really turned us off of going to Comic-Cons because as a licensee, we try to do everything right. We don't have fake product on our table. I could sell Star Wars pins. I just can't afford a Star Wars license. I could sell Marvel pins, but I can't afford a Marvel license. So I don't have that product at a Comic-Con, but at the Star Trek convention, and I think it's a little bit about the communication we've had with our customers, and a lot of customers who have become friends, and a lot of customers who have become we sponsor. It just ends up being a different kind of relationship with your customer, and so it's really important. I'll tell you what, I don't care if I go to another show until Destination Chicago, just because they just don't hold the same feeling inside that you get when you're standing behind that table for 14 hours. It's like standing at your reunion and meeting people that you've known for a long time, and versus the transactional relationship that you get at a Comic-Con.
Yeah, it kind of is next level. I mean, yeah, I think the reason that we're bummed the most that we can't go to Vegas is because we're going to miss that connection. We're going to miss getting back together with those people, obviously with you guys and with all of the other people we've met and gotten to know over the years. And to say I'm just the tiniest bit jealous would not be a lie. I mean, it sucks to be here on the East Coast while that's going on, but
it'll be worse next week.
Well, that's it. If things were different, we'd be there in a heartbeat. And I think that's what it comes down to. So obviously you're going to be bringing a whole lot of brand new steel to Vegas.
Yes. Not as much as we wanted to, but still a lot.
One of the questions that we've been getting in Camp Kittimer and on our Discord every now and then is, we didn't see the usual slate of releases on fansets.com for 8/1. So, what are you going to surprise folks with once you get into Vegas?
Well, manufacturing is really wonky right now, is the best word I can use. We've been releasing 2 at a time on Star Trek, and also getting approvals from CBS has been kind of wonky also. So we just got in, I believe, 11 new micro crew characters finally, and I didn't even get my DC product on time for this month. And we're going to continue releasing the aforementioned micro crew characters 2 at a time over the course of the next several months, along with some of the deltas, and then eventually, hopefully at the end of August or mid-September, we'll release the master set for Enterprise.
Nice. So with regards to those, I'm sure that what special sets haven't looked awesome.
Thank you.
With regards to the micro crew pins, if you could, or if you want me to, whichever you'd like, why don't you let us know what micro crew pins you are talking about that are going to be coming out, because then we got a little bit of a special announcement once you go through that list.
Yeah, sure. So this last, on the 1st of August, we released Dr. Pulaski and a pin that we've been just getting hounded on, and we are very excited. I was going to hold him back, and then just the enormous response that we've got on social media. I had no choice but to bring the Rin pin out on the 1st, and I got to tell you, I've literally packed 150 of them this morning.
Nice.
Down here,
frickin' Noah.
He is. I know, right? It is selling. That pin is selling so well. And then, on the 15th, we're going to release Martok and Galron on the 15th. And then we'll follow that up on the 1st of September with, the season 3 Admiral Vance and Michael Burnham in the grays, which look just absolutely phenomenal.
Excellent.
And then after that, we'll do Guinan and Vic Fontaine. Will be after that, and then we'll do we'll release the Xindi Reptilian Commander Dolim and Tig Notaro's pin Jet Reno, and then finally, last but not least, we'll release the Monster Maroon Kirk, Admiral Kirk, and the Catherine Hicks Dr. Gillian Taylor pin.
What an awesome, that's like, I think almost every single series is touched kind of in that entire list. That's so good. You know what I want to do, Lou?
Tell me.
I want to give away a whole set of these things.
Oh, let's do that.
That's awesome. So here's what we're going to do. And this is right off the top of my head, so it could be completely stupid, and Bill's going to correct me because that's what he does.
Could be.
Yep.
So you got that entire list of pins that Lou just went through. So what we want our listeners to do is go on Twitter, and of the list of pins that we just announced are going to be coming out in the coming months, tell us which of those is your favorite character and why, and use the hashtag #NoVegas for Bill and Dan.
Oh my God. You probably created the most depressing hashtag ever.
Wow.
Well, that could be happy for some people. I'm just saying, but we could use a different hashtag. That just came up first, but we want to give away an entire set. So what we'll do is maybe before the end of the show, we'll come up with a better hashtag because Bill's better at thinking on his feet than I am.
No, let's go with it. No Vegas for Bill and Dan.
No Vegas for Bill and Dan. And let's make it easier. Let's use the number 4 so it's not more letters. So no Vegas for Bill and Dan. And we'll have that available up and for the next, let's run it through Vegas. So we're going to run it from the time this episode hits, and we'll run it through Vegas Sunday the 9th. So when we come back and have our first episode, we'll announce the winner, but we'll get in touch with the winner ahead of time on Twitter, and we'll have a whole bunch of pins for him.
Point of order, through Vegas would be Sunday the 15th.
15th. What did I say?
The 9th, which is
the 9th.
a Monday.
I'm sorry, which is when we're supposed to be leaving. So I guess that's why I have it.
Oh my God, you're horrible.
I'm so sorry.
Mixed up. That's
just
all
a
right.
little mixed up. But Lew, I gotta. First of all, thank you for
yes, absolutely
giving that prize out, because I'm sure that somebody's going to be extremely happy. And Trek Geeks podcast network members are not eligible for said contest. Let's just put that right there, right now.
A lot of people mad.
I know, really.
Yeah.
Get your pen ready, Lew, because I have a pin suggestion for you, which it's just going to blow your mind. I want you to come up with a Commander Sonak pin from Star Trek: The Motion Picture after the transporter accident.
Wait, isn't that going to look like the new character from Star Trek Prodigy?
Well, I'm going to go out in my garage and get a torch and just melt it down.
So wait, you could do the same thing by doing Odo in his liquid state.
Right.
That's right. You could do a whole set of liquid state pins.
I can't believe I actually took you serious and started writing this down.
Or it could also look like one of the Klingons on the sister ship of the Discovery when, or the crew of the Glen, actually, when their internal dampers failed. And
here, I thought you were going to do the Galt pin again, or the Games Just a Triskelion logo, which you do every year.
I figured, why beat a dead horse? It's never going to happen. I challenge thee. There you go. So now the challenge has been put out there for that pin.
All right. So are we going to talk about some of the new stuff, though? We're going to talk about what we're going to do in Vegas?
Oh, my God. Absolutely. Let's do it. Hit us up.
All right.
Yeah. Let's give us all the info, because I know people want to know.
Well, I mean, we've kind of shown all this stuff. We're going to do the 3 Women of Trek pin that
Beautiful.
we announced would be at the show. Yeah, here I am. I'm back. Which is number 1.
That's right. Number 1.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
Can't wait.
Yes. Belana Torres, which we've had just an unbelievable amount of people asking for that one.
If memory serves, wasn't she one of the top rated when we did a vote at one point?
She was the top rated pin.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. We did, you'll be excited. We did the Christy Alley one of Savick.
No, you didn't. You did the Robin Curtis Savick.
Such a liar.
And I say that because that's my favorite Savick.
Right. And then 2 that we're very excited about are 1 Women of Trek pin, just like we did with Uhura 2 years ago. We'll have a 7 of 9, which is a show special pin. We're not using the term exclusive because, especially in the COVID era, and it's just unfair. A lot of people who were planning to be there won't be there. So we're going to call the show special. The show special will only be available at the show. Any that are left over will be made available to the general Star Trek universe fandom right after the show. So we'll have that. We'll have the 7 of 9 Women of Trek special piece, and then we also have our traditional, which just absolutely looks incredible, our traditional poker chip.
That's beautiful.
With
So
Captain
gorgeous.
Card on it saying, "I'm not ready for the game to end."
Yep.
When he was playing cards with Data, we always try to theme it around them playing a game, and I cannot tell you how great. I'm going to hold you. You guys haven't got to see this other than in a picture, but it just.
Well, we got to give it away to somebody. and it looks amazing.
Let's give one of these away.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
Too. And let's give one of these and the 7 and 9 away right now.
All right, then. I tell you what, we're going to do
Vegas for Dan or no
Vegas for Bill and Dan. Anybody using that? Dan. We're going to have 2 winners.
2 winners. Yeah.
One to get the micro cruise, and then one to get the poker chip pin and the 7 of 9.
I got to say, Lew,
gorgeous.
One of the things that I've always loved about a lot of the special pins that you've done as you're showing us that on your camera is the way that you are able to incorporate the glitter. The glitter pins are probably my favorite pins that you've ever done. They just absolutely look fantastic. So yeah, Robin Curtis Savick.
And unfortunately, awesome. A photograph doesn't do that justice.
Yeah.
As you try to show those pieces, it just does not do justice.
So that's like, oh my gosh, you got like 13 micro crew pins coming out. You got 3 or 4 Women of Trek. You got a special poker chip coming out. That's a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of stuff that's going to be available in Vegas. A lot of stuff going to be available on the website over time. That's a lot of stuff, but I know because we know you got other stuff on the horizon that you're working on right now. Do you want to whet our appetites a little bit?
Well, I do. And the one piece that we're not talking about, the one last piece for Vegas is that we will have the season 3 Discovery Deltas at the show for people to buy.
Personal transporter not included.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent. That's fantastic. Yeah, I got to say the Delta collection that you guys have been doing has just been spot on. And the Enterprise Delta from Discovery Season 2, I think it's Bill's favorite. And I'm pretty sure it's my favorite as well, as Bill is wearing his right now, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I am.
I would have to tell you that this has been a stretch for us to get into the CBS license with Star Trek. We're very excited, but we're doing baby steps. We're going to make sure it's right. We actually pulled the Voyager badge down because we didn't do it right the first time, and the new one that's coming, it will be the best version of that badge that's ever been produced. So we're not gonna be the biggest company, but we're gonna strive to do it as best as we can for the fans, what we would want to buy for ourselves. So
that's one of the things that's great about what you guys have done over the years. I remember the smallest details you make sure are correct. I remember at one point, I think the Dr. Phlox pin originally, the hands were the wrong color. So you sent the whole batch back to get it redone because you know that the fans would want it to be correct. So
right.
Absolutely.
But let's talk a little bit about what we've got on the horizon. So that'll be a huge piece. That'll be a huge, I think we're going to have like 300 to 500 of those in Vegas, and we expect to sell out of those season 3 pins.
Oh yeah, I can bet you will.
It'll all depend on what lands. Those are due this week, but let's talk about who's coming for the micro. We got some really, and we're going to actually surprise one of you guys here at the end. So for micro crew, we have in art and going into licensing approval, we have Osira from season 3 of Discovery.
Is her chin going to be gigantic like on TV too?
Yes. In fact, if you guys have seen I shared with you guys a preliminary version of art of that, and I sent it back and said the chin's not right. The chin has got to be right. I mean, it's really,
and by right we mean wrong.
We mean it's got to be kind of pointy.
Yep.
Everyone loves this character from DS9, Wei Yun.
Yes,
is coming.
So excited.
Yes, we've you guys have seen an early version of that. We're again, we're always fine tuning.
Yep.
We're gonna have Captain Burnham in the red season 4 uniform, which looks absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna have Adira from Discovery, joining our Discovery line of micro crew characters.
Beautiful.
Loxana Troy.
Wow, that one took a long time to get out.
It took a long time,
Yeah.
and I don't have any reasoning other than there's so many great characters. Where do you fit them in at?
Right.
And here's another one here from DS9. We're going to have Lita.
Awesome.
Yeah, and that's we have one other micro crew character that we're going to announce. We're going to save him for the end. We have it out of our special pins. We're going to do in art designs. Paris from Lower Decks. We'll have him in a full size design. We have also to go along with our Lower Decks line. We'll be bringing in the Paris Voyager. They're doing the plate.
Yes.
We will have an actual pin of that plate.
That's fantastic.
It'll be the same design as that piece of art that was provided. And then we've just been absolutely asked for this character a lot. We're going to have Q done in as a straight from the art from Lower Decks. And
great.
Yes,
cool.
Cool. And then we'll have Riker and Deanna Troy from Lower Decks as well.
Oh, great. From the Titan. There you go.
Titan, yes. So we'll also be introducing a new character that'll be coming to Lower Decks called Beluga, with a special pin for him as well. Those are all in art and approval right now. And then the big one, oh boy, that we're going to announce right here is, and it isn't because it was aforementioned, it's because we've been planning on doing it. Galt.
No!
Galt is coming to our micro crew line.
All right, now I might have to come to Vegas just to give you a hug.
Social distancing, Dan. Social distancing.
All right. Well,
and Dan, I'm going to show you this just so you can see I didn't throw this in. It's actually on my phone, but I wanted to show you the artwork first before I told you. But at least we got your I got to see your reaction actually live.
I am so excited about that, man. I've been wanting that one forever, and that's just great.
You were doing the one-man wave. It was awesome.
That is great. That entire list of coming soons is just fantastic. And I got to say, the detail that you guys do in your Lower Decks pins is just spot on. So can't wait. Cannot wait.
Well, and we have a lot of stuff in progress with the Deltas, but we're not going to let that for reasons of competition, and we just can't let it out yet on some of the stuff we're working on. We will have the Monster Maroon Twalk badge that we've had incredible help from Mr. John Cooley on.
Yes.
We've literally we've seen over 10 samples that he and us said, no frickin' way. It's got to be spot on. Spock on. And so, yeah, we'll have that one coming. We're very close on it. We have we got some other really good stuff coming that I think the fans are going to love for the Delta Done Right series.
So I have a question about the Galt pin. Are you going to do like a wider version that you could say is Dana's Galt?
Wow. Wow. All this work I've been doing at the gym just went right out the window.
I'll just take a hammer and flatten it out a little more.
I'm sorry, I couldn't pass that up. It just hit my mind.
Yeah, I'm going to hit you.
I can't wait to see some of the iterations of this Wrath of Khan, Starfleet insignia. It's all just such amazing stuff. I mean, I hope you know that we truly wish we could be there with you this week. We love you. We miss you. We miss everybody there, even Joe, because Joe's okay. He's all right. He is. You guys have got to be getting excited to get in the van and start heading to Vegas.
So after I get done talking to you guys, I'm I haven't had the cases that our pins have been in that we have on the table out for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm literally taking out some of the Mirror Universe TNG stuff that we know that have all gone into Vault.
Yep.
I'm having to reset all these cases. That's what I'm working on today. Tomorrow morning, John and I will pull the entire inventory that will be taken to Vegas and get it boxed. Friday, we pick up the van and load it. And then Monday, we're on the road at 5 a.m. on the way to Vegas.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we praise you guys and the product you put out, not just because you're a sponsor of ours, but because you're our friends, because we believe that your product is of the highest class out there for Star Trek memorabilia. We really wish we could be out there with you. Please stay safe. Tell everyone how much we miss them and how much we love them. And we look forward to the time that we can tink glasses and drink martinis together again, my friend.
Absolutely. It won't be the same without you guys, I can tell you right now. And we're honored to have our name of our company associated with the Trek Geeks.
All right, buddy, let's recap because we're giving away a ton of stuff now.
Oh my God, we're giving away so much stuff. I don't even know how much stuff we're giving away. Does that make any sense? I'm not sure if that makes sense.
No, not at all.
But then again, when do I make sense? Actually, yeah. First of all, it's always great to talk to Lew. He's a brother. He's a Star Trek awesome person, and we're so glad that he was able to take the time to talk to us a little bit about what's going on when they go to Vegas. But yeah, we're giving away a lot of stuff. So just to recap, I'm going to do a recap here. If you want to win an entire set of upcoming micro crew pins, which are Dr. Gillian Taylor from Star Trek IV, the Monster Maroon Captain Kirk, Dr. Pulaski, Guinan, Admiral Vance, DSC Season 3 uniformed Michael in gray, Jet Reno, Rin, Vic Fontaine, the Xindi reptilian, what's his name, Dolan, Galron, and Martok. That's an amazing giveaway.
That touches a lot of series.
That's a lot of series. Is that all the series now that we're thinking about it? Okay, we got TOS movies, TNG, Discovery, DS9,
No Voyager.
Enterprise, Galron is TNG and Deep Space Nine, and Martok is Deep Space Nine.
No
That's
Voyager.
Awesome. No Voyager. Oh, but Voyager, they had a whole special last year, so whatever. But that's amazing. That's an amazing giveaway. They're always so generous over there at FanSets. So you have until August 18th. We've decided to make a change. You have August 18th. You have to go over to Twitter and you have to tell us which of all of those pins is your favorite and why, and use the hashtag #NoVegas for Dan and Bill with the number 4. Now, if you use no hashtag for Bill and Dan, we'll count that as well. So you have until the 18th of August to get in your tweets using that hashtag on Twitter for a chance to win a lot of pins.
A lot of pins. And just to be clear, it's the number 4, and you have to spell out the word "and."
Yes.
Because the ampersand sign does not work in hashtags.
Yeah, that'll screw things up. It won't be a hashtag. It'll create its own word
It'd be
separate.
weird.
So use the word "and." So no Vegas for Dan and Bill, or no Vegas for Bill and Dan, using the number 4, and you could win. What is that? 13 pins, I think it is. That's unbelievable.
I think it was 11.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna do this right now because we're just so smart. I'm gonna count them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why don't you count to yourself for a second, and we're going to talk about the other
13
giveaway
pins.
that we're going to do.
Okay.
And that is the special Vegas 2021 poker chip pin, which FanSets does every single convention, and the special 7 of 9 Women of Trek pin that is that they're making available to start at Vegas.
Right. And I believe it's got the Fenris logo in it, if I remember correctly.
I believe it does.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So yeah, and I got to say, dude, of all the pins that FanSets has done over the years, those poker chips are just freaking awesome because they don't have pin backings. They're poker chips. And do they have pin backings?
They
do
have
have pin backings. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But they're solid, and the glitter on them, like I told Lew, is just awesome. And this one is no different. Picard from the first episode, the opening scene of Picard season 1 when he's playing poker with Data on the Enterprise D. It's fantastic. And you're going to have a chance to win that and that 7 of 9 win of Trek pin.
So first prize will be the 13 micro crew pins, one winner. And then second prize will be the Vegas 2021 poker chip and the 7 of 9 women of Trek pin. Now, the winners must live in the United States.
Absolutely. Yep.
Because we have to be able to ship to a winner inside the U.S. Plus, if you've won a contest from Trek Geeks within the last 30 days, sorry, we got to ask you to let somebody else give a turn.
Right.
So we figured that's only fair. And we do it all through random drawing anyway from all the tweets that get done. So please understand that we're trying to spread the love as much as we can. But you have until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 18th, 2021. That's a Wednesday to get your tweets out there with No Vegas for Dan and Bill.
And speaking of 11:59 Eastern Daylight Time on August 18th, we didn't have a FanSets commercial this week because, let's face it, most of the episode has been about FanSets, having Luke come on. So we wanted also everyone to know that we do have a special discount code for anyone who wants to use it when purchasing things at fansets.com between now and the 18th of August. So if you use the code word Vegas21, that's VEGAS, the number 2 and the number 1, all capital letters, you're going to get 10% off your entire order at fansets.com. And we're extending that out for a good week and a half because, Vegas.
And much like the contest, that also ends at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 18th, 2021. And of course, remember, if you spend more than $30 at fansets.com, you're always going to get free shipping in the United States, which is a huge plus whenever I order.
FanSets. Our pins. Oh, wait a minute. We don't have to do that this week.
Yeah, we don't have to do that this week. But no, sincere thanks to Lew. And it's like, Dan, you mentioned when we talked to Lew that we first met them about 5 years ago, their first year at the convention. And they truly have become dear, dear friends. Right. Lew was not kidding when he says he talks to us pretty much every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not always about pins.
No, that's true. It's not always about pins. But speaking of pins, I got 2 words.
Yeah.
Golf pin.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that I brought it up this year.
You did.
I must be your lucky charm. So the next time you want a pin, just bring it to me.
I gave up because I'm like, he's not going to freaking do it. And look at what he did. He surprised me.
Well, way to believe. Way to have faith in your friends.
I'm a believer. Yeah. Yeah. And I saw
Stop
her
it.
face.
Don't
Okay,
you even.
sorry. All right.
If you Neil Diamond me, I will punch you in
What's
the
the
jaw.
Monkeys?
Neil Diamond wrote the song, jerk.
Oh, I didn't know. See, you got the music background and the history of stuff. I don't. I just know it's the Monkeys.
Yeah, every time that song has been remade, Neil Diamond makes a ton of money.
Wow. Okay.
Because Smash Mouth did it in the early 2000s for the Shrek movie.
And
they did 2 versions, by the way.
I did not know that.
I'll tell you about that later.
Wow. Why would you guys?
But yet we digress. Dan, the other thing we're digressing upon is our love for the band 5 Year Mission.
Oh, yeah.
We love these guys so much. We are so grateful that they allow us to use all their music on Trek Geeks. We've been using a lot of it lately, too, because we've been doing a lot of segments. And thanks to those guys for always making this show sound amazing. We want everyone to check out their albums, go to 5yearmission.net, buy all their CDs, and then fire up your favorite podcast app and download 5 Year Mission, the podcast, because that is a ton of fun with those guys, guaranteed. So it's 5yearmission.net, Dan. Go get those discs, yo.
They excite me because they're so good. And I'm excited that hopefully we'll be able to see them in Mission Chicago in 8 short parentheses long months. But you know what else excites me? I got to tell you.
I'm afraid to answer this.
Well, I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's the premiere of Lower Decks Season 2 next week as we record this.
Lower Decks.
Be quiet. This is my segment. I'm so excited, Bill, that I've been actually rewatching Season 1 of Lower Decks. Lots of great episodes in that first season. I've said it's
Don't care.
It's the best first season in Star Trek. You don't care about anything I say, but you're gonna care about this. It's just one specific episode. You'll remember it. It's Badgie, the homicidal maniac holodeck program, is introduced for the first time in this episode. It's also the one where a 5-year mission concert is held on the Cerritos, and everyone wears those choo-choo shirts and dances the night away. But there are also tense moments where the Drokmani are fighting with the captain. And Ensign Fletcher appears to have been assaulted for some isolinear cores that he was supposed to be working on. And Dr. Ta'ana gets a fur face full of nacho cheese. You know what I'm talking about. You know it. You love it. It's Terminal Profarcations, and you can check it out, Lower Decks Season 1, right now on Paramount Plus, or get the DVD. But the most important thing is to just listen to 5 Year Mission. So that's what I'm going with, Terminal Profarcations. So there you go. What do you think? So you're not even saying anything, so I think you loved it.
I hate it.
Okay. Fur face full of
That's
nacho
largely
cheese.
because you told me to shut up because it was your segment. It could have been really good. I actually wasn't listening. But knowing your track record, I'm willing to bet it sucked.
I'm willing to do the whole thing over again if you want.
No, it's okay. I know the guy who edits this podcast.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll hear it.
Profarcations. Yeah. So check it out.
Yeah, no, don't.
bad cheese.
Just watch real Lower Decks and get ready for the premiere coming up in just a little over a week.
Choo-choo shirts. Joke man.
Lower Decks. Lower Decks. Dan, we are so grateful also to have the support of some amazing folks over on our Patreon. You and I have been amazed throughout this entire pandemic. Obviously, some people could make some tough choices and have to take care of business at home. And we've been grateful to still enjoy the continued support of a bunch of people over on our Patreon. It's allowed us to grow this network unbelievably and to offer content that we didn't know we'd be able to offer when we started this. So we want everyone to check out our Patreon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're so thankful for everyone's support. And you know what? We get it. There are more important things right now than listening to two nerds talking to a microphone every week about Star Trek. If you gotta take care of your family, take care of your family. We totally get it. And we've had a couple of people that have sent us messages because they've had to stop the Patreon for a while, and it's all good. It's all good. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, the turbo lift doors are always open.
Always.
So, if and when you come back, we're going to welcome you with open arms, and we appreciate everything that everyone does for our Patreon. And right now, though, we want to take a moment to thank our associate producers of Trek Geeks because we are so grateful for their support. And they are Vikram Bhatt, Luke Burnham, Brad DeMag, William Edward M. Jr., Patrick Escudero, Brandon Everidge, Andy Fark, some guy named Andy Fark, Kimberly Francis, Jonathan Hamilton, Ryan Jeffs, John Krikorian, Sean Lynn, Jamie McGregor, Aaron Mollenkoff, Casey Pettit, Tim Robertson, Greg Rozier, Eric Sakian, Adam Sanders, Tim Serdar, Heather Sohn, Blake Strike, Lisa Tomlinson, Jessica Dax Vincent, Ron Wrobel, and the gracious and wonderful Conrad Hutchins.
Oh, that's delightful. We also want to thank our Trek Geeks producers for their support. They are the less talented Bovia, Mike, Chaz Bradshaw, Kyle Castillo, Peter Craig, Craig Ewing, Jackie and Chris Hackney, number one fan, Kimberly Hartman, David Hood, Leonel Marchand, Rick Mason, Matt McGonigal, Jim McMahon, Darren Metcalf, Charlie Mulvey, Sean O'Halloran, the completely untalented Jamie Rogers, some idiot named Casey Shafsky, Chris Trabuzio, Ken Tripp, Christina Werther, and the lovely and talented Jess Vashon. Dan, the senior producer of Trek Geeks, is the awesomely audacious and the audaciously awesome Jude Tatman.
So you just took what I was going to say. I was going to reverse it, but you did. But he is awesomely audacious and audaciously awesome. I also want to throw in that I did neglect to say Sarah Rutlinger in the associate producers because I copied the wrong copy for this week's copy. Copy?
Copy.
All right. Excellent. Anyway. I got to find where I was because I just lost my spot. So
you too can become a producer of the Trek Geeks Network. It's so easy. Head on over to patreon.com/TrekGeeks today for all the details. Dan, normally at this juncture, we would announce what we're doing next week, but this is a good time to talk about the fact that we're taking a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
You and I have done a lot of podcasts in the last 18 months, and we could use a break. And so we are going to take a couple of weeks to do just that, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. It's needed. In all seriousness, we got to kind of digest this whole idea that we're not going to be at Vegas. So we're going to take the week. We're going to take a couple of weeks. We're going to be back the first week of September to return to giving you some fun Star Trek talk on a bi-weekly basis. And we are looking forward to it. But for now, we're going to take a few weeks. I know that you've got some. You're going to lose some wisdom of your mind through the way of pulling them out of your head through teeth. But that should be pretty fun too. So have fun with that.
Yeah. So at almost 52 years old, I've decided it's time to get my final 2 wisdom teeth out. And I have to be sedated for it to happen. So that's going to happen shortly after mid-August. So we decided to pretty much take the rest of the month. Part of the reason we're going to bi-weekly for the rest of the year, or fortnightly as some of you call it in the world, is to give ourselves a little bit of a breather and a break and still do podcast episodes.
Right.
In 2022, we'll be back to our typical weekly ways.
Yep.
But for now, we're kind of downshifting a little bit and giving ourselves more of a mental break, especially as Discovering Trek Lower Decks fires up
Right.
on the other end of the podcast spectrum, Dan.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. As I mentioned just a little while ago during our 5-year mission segment, Lower Decks is starting a week from Friday, or Thursday, if I remember correctly. So it's coming up real soon, which means Discovering Trek Lower Decks is going to be coming at you. Casey, Sarah, Bill, and I are looking forward to talking to everyone about that every week during the season. So we got that. We're going to have a little break with Trek Geeks and then come back every couple of weeks with a new episode. And that'll keep our Star Trek fires burning. Yeah.
Or something. So everybody, thanks for hanging with us. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We will be back before you know it. And of course, we may throw a best of episode in the feed. Just to sort of keep us in your ears for some. Maybe we'll take an old episode, like one of our original interviews with like Nana Visitor, and we'll make it available for download again. So
look at that.
But of course, just because we're not going to be around as often, please check out the other member podcasts of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network. You know, we mentioned Discovering Trek, which right now is doing Enterprise, and we'll start doing Lower Decks next week. But there's Rewind, there's Polytrex, there's 5 years mission. 5-year mission.
5 years?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 years missions. Deep Space Pride, Infinite Trek, The Divine Treasury, Sci-Fi Sisters, and of course now, I mean, there's Science Station 2, there's With the First Link, and Drawn to Trek, the brand new Star Trek animation podcast with Aaron Harvey and a cavalcade of guest hosts.
I'm drawn to Trek.
We all are, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the best part about it. So many great shows. You can find them all by visiting trekgeeks.com/listen.
The Trek Geeks Podcast Network. No one talks Trek. No one talks Trek like we do.
They really don't. We're so grateful to have all of those beautiful people on our network, and we hope you'll check them all out. And of course, for all the news and all the Star Trek SEO, please visit our great friends at treknews.net. For now, this has been episode number 267 of the Trek Geeks Podcast. We do hope you all live long and prosper.
We're not going to Vegas.
We're not, but
Coconut.
you can get more excited about Coconut than that.
Coconut, because it's going to be a goal pin.
Music for Trek Geeks is provided by 5-Year Mission. They're writing an original song for each episode of Star Trek. Hear more of their music at 5yearmission.net. Trek Geeks is a production of Coconut Media Works. Executive producers Bill Smith and Dan Davidson. For more great Star Trek discussion, discover the other shows of the Trek Geeks Podcast Network at trekgeeks.com or find us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app.
Bing bong.
Yeah. Bang bong.
I'm sure this is, everybody's listened to this episode right now, so they know that the wind is pretty much just out of my sails. But the wind is collectively out of our sails.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a pretty crappy last few days.
And this has all transpired in less than a week.
Oh my God. And it all transpired in itself, in less than 2 hours when everything went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. So for those of you, go ahead.
A week ago when we were recording the How to Vegas, we were all incredibly jazzed.
Yeah. Right.
Still concerned.
Yep.
Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Which we said, yep.
But incredibly jazzed to just get feet on the ground and just be.
feet on the ground, looking like a fool with your feet on the ground and your hat. Sorry, wrong song.
Did you just pants on the ground me?
I did. I did. I'm
You
sorry.
are looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Very nice. With my feet on the ground, I should say. But they're not going to be, actually. No, back to your story.
No, they're going to continue to be because we ain't getting a plane.
That's true, too. Yeah. They're going to be, our feet are going to be on the wrong place. Right.
Yeah. And then Friday, which, I mean, we've been into this in the podcast already, but so my wife knows that I'm incredibly bummed.
Yeah.
So she has come up with an idea.
Okay.
She's like, what about if next weekend we put up the Christmas tree?
What? Wow.
Now, keep in mind, this is a woman who is not a huge fan of Christmas.
Right.
And really is not big on putting up the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
This is all for me.
Huh.
So we're going to put up the Christmas tree. We're going to decorate it. Not this coming weekend, but the next probably.
Huh.
And
well, there you
I
go.
said, well, when are we taking it down? She goes, I don't know. Probably after Christmas.
Right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so we're going to put the tree up.
Yeah. Hey, do you like Carnage from Spider-Man? The villain?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, just wondering. It ties to Christmas, but I won't get into it right now because you brought it up.
You're thinking Legos, aren't you?
Yeah. Because I was at the store the other day and I saw that R2-D2 that you finally were able to get that I tried to get for you in Disney. And I'm telling you what, all those ones that they have of like masks, I mean, you've got a couple. They're awesome. And they had a Spider-Man, they had a Venom, I think, and they had a Carnage, which is a cool villain, kind of like Venom, but will be the villain in the next Venom movie coming out later this year with Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, the first Venom had nothing to do with the actual original storyline of Venom in the comic book, so it was disappointing.
That's not helpful.
But special effects are pretty cool. So that was a very, very strange fork in the road that I just took. But what else is new?
The only reason I said is because the only way I know of Carnage is because of that Lego set.
Oh, okay.
I had never heard of Carnage before.
All right.
I have the Iron Man helmet
Yep.
in that Lego one.
Yeah.
I have the first Batman cowl,
Yep.
and I have the 66 Batman cowl shipping to me on my birthday
Oh, there you go.
because that's when it's released.
Yep. Nice. I'll tell you what, I said to Sue the other day, I said, it's a good thing that I'm not heavy into Star Wars because I would be broke. Because I'd be getting the Stormtrooper mask and the Vader mask and the Boba Fett mask, and
They're all behind me.
I was going to say, I think your wife's got them all, doesn't she? Yeah,
She's got them all.
I love doing them. I'm working on the Infinity Gauntlet right now because it came in early. Blah, 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 blah. It was supposed to come in this weekend. I got an email on Monday saying that would come in on Tuesday, and it came in on Monday afternoon. So I've been working on that. I love it.
You know, my wife has Vader. She has the TIE Fighter pilot. Yep. She has the Stormtrooper. She has Boba Fett.
Do they also have a Stormtrooper that rides the
speeder bike trooper? She's got that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, she's got that too.
So awesome. Cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Lego's fun.
The Empire has all the cool helmet displays.
Do. Right. They really do. Because, I said it before. The Rebels are like, they got this, they're in crappy headquarters and everything's dirty and rusty.
Rebels suck.
And the Empire's got like clean, like glass, clean floors and cool stuff. Yeah. Because they have
it's because the indentured servants polish them.
Yes, exactly. And they got the little mouse droids.
Beer can chicken.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
So and speaking of Star Wars, we were talking about this in chat before we started recording today. Did you see the prices for the Star Wars hotel in Disney that opens next year?
Yeah, I did see. And I said to my wife, so honey, the prices for the Star Wars hotel experience came out today, and it looks amazingly expensive, and I can guarantee we're never going to go.
So all packages are a 2-night experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So for 2 guests per cabin, you're paying $1,200 per person per night, or $4,800 total for your 2-night voyage.
Ridiculous.
I can go on a week-long cruise to the Caribbean for less.
Exactly. I think, but you know what? People are going to pay it. And it's going to be sold out all the time. Who
if
says
you
the economy's down the drain? I mean, 'cause
I know,
people are gonna
right?
pay top dollar for that stuff.
Now, if you add a third guest, like say 2 adults, 1 child, your price comes down to $889 a head.
Oh, phew.
But you're paying $5,300 for the whole voyage. So it's not like you get a discount for a kid.
Unbelievable.
And then
Person one, yeah.
Well, the next one's 4
4-person
guests
rather,
per
yeah.
cabin.
Yep.
3 adults, 1 child. Not 2 adults, 2 kids. It's 3 and 1. $749 per night, or $5,999 for a 2-night experience.
That's where I get the 6 because I was thinking $6K. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never, ever will I do that.
Same.
Same. That's just crazy. I mean, would I?
And you can.
I'll go so far as to say this, dude. I wouldn't do it if it was a Star Trek one, because that price is just ridiculous. It's just absurd.
Yeah. It's so the admission ticket expires at midnight prior to the departure date, is non-upgradable, non-transferable, non-refundable, and it excludes activities and events that are separately priced. Package includes 2 breakfast, 2 lunch, and 2 dinner meals per guest with gratuity included for dinners, and 1 quick self-service meal consisting of 1 entree and either 1 non-alcoholic beverage, or if age 21 and over, 1 alcoholic beverage where available.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. But by the way, package does include entry to Disney's Hollywood Studios for one on one of the days of your experience.
Wow. So it doesn't even so the other 3 people have to buy their own tickets to the park.
Yeah, and that's the ticket that's non non-upgradable, non-transferable.
That's just Disney's got to get their bleep together with that, because that's. But like I said, people are gonna buy it. It's gonna be sold out all the time.
And some of those will be people who complain about having to pay $6 for Paramount Plus.
Exactly. Yep. Absolutely. I 100% agree. Or Disney Plus. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yep. Absolutely.
So, I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
Yeah. But on the positive side of Disney prices, I was also very happy to see today in interestingly enough, my Disney food blog email, all of these things.
This is where I found out about the Star Wars thing.
Yeah. Annual passes will be coming back to Disney soon, which is very good because we're going to start going twice a year again, hopefully. So it makes sense to get an annual pass when available. So yeah. So that was good news in that aspect.
We've started to think of where we might want to go next year domestically, because neither of us is down to fly internationally anytime soon.
True.
And we're not really down to go on a cruise again for a while.
Right.
So Disney's on the list, obviously, because I still haven't seen Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
My wife has.
Yeah, so have I.
Yeah, but I'm not married to you.
Yeah, well,
you didn't go without me.
We kind of got like a Raj and Howard thing.
No,
but that's okay.
No, we really don't. But my wife actually went without me. I was in New Hampshire. She was in Florida for a Spartan race.
Yeah.
I told her to go, but still, I didn't think I'd have to wait 2 years to go.
Right. True. Well, I'll tell you what, it's still domestic. So there's always the Disney resort in Hawaii that Sue and I have always wanted to go to, Aulani.
Aulani?
Yeah. And this one's going to make you probably puke a little bit, but it's okay. I was reading something on the Disney food blog the other day about Dole Whip. And in Aulani, in the fall, they have pumpkin spice Dole Whip with candy corn sprinkled on it.
I don't like candy corns, but I'd be willing to try a pumpkin spice Dole Whip.
I'm very proud of you, because I didn't know if you would like that or not. I'm not a big candy corn fan. I can have like 3, and then I don't like them anymore. But the pumpkin spice Dole Whip might be good, because everybody knows I'm a huge pineapple Dole Whip fan.
Absolutely, same here.
Could live off of that stuff.
Well, here's the thing. I don't mind different flavors.
Yeah.
Like, I love lots of cuisine. I mean, I've eaten some weird things in my life. You know, I've, especially as part of a chef's menu. But I don't have a problem with pumpkin spice Dole Whip. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, they have all kinds of good spice. They had, last time we were there and got Dole Whip, they had a cherry pistachio twist, which was really pretty good. And speaking of cherry, I'm pivoting to another topic, but it is food and drink related, so it's still.
Let me just say, not a big fan of pistachio. Okay.
Oh, I love pistachio. I had a pistachio every day. tried, you know how I'm always dabbling in new martini recipes. We put together Sue's idea the other night. We didn't have any regular vodkas because we had run out, interestingly enough. So she's like, how about, hey, let's do this. We have some raspberry vodka that we don't really use because my brother's fiance drinks that. So let's make like a chocolate covered raspberry martini. So she looked one up and I got the ingredients and she tried it and she loved it. And then she's like, hey, we could get like cherry flavored vodka and strawberry flavored vodka and mandarin flavored vodka and have all these chocolate covered things. So the other night we tried the cherry cordial or the cherry chocolate covered cherry martini.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was, I would like have one right now if I could.
You could.
And last
I'm
night
just saying.
Last night we tried the strawberry covered one, but the cherry one right now is the winner. Yeah. So just letting you know.
You're the big winner. You are.
Well, I am because I'm here with you.
Well, and because you were making martinis.
Oh, that's true too, which is like, I love doing that. It's fun.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
All right. You want to put that martini down and do this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay.
Talk about some really non-fun stuff now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Won't be our most fun episode.
No,
but
it won't
good
be.
to
It'll
talk
probably
about.
be one of our more depressing ones to be. So sorry, everybody.
Wow. Nothing like going into this with a great attitude. Dan says
I always look at it as being depressing
everywhere.
because I'm recording with you, but this one's going to be really depressing. But
That's just lame. Dude, if you're going to do this, bring your A game.
My A game's in Vegas.
I understand.
That's where I'm not.
It's the grief talking. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Coconut.